Matron here again, bringing you part 2 of the replay between Root Kiwikaki and EG Strifecro. In the early going, both players have macroed up Kiwikaki on a number of Phoenix in his army and now working on a small ground army, and EG Strifecro has an air army as well, Mutalisks and Corruptors, hoping to be able to counter the Phoenix, which are causing a lot of damage so far from Kiwikaki. So we'll get going here. Again, with the upgrades and the armor on those Corruptors, is going to be very good against these Phoenix. But these Mutalisks, if they lead ahead here, the Phoenix are going to be able to tear into them. We see 15 Mutalisks previously. Now those Mutalisk numbers are going down very quickly. The Phoenix able to dance around the Corruptors and the Mutalisks. At the start of that encounter, there were 15 Phoenix, going down to 14, only losing 1 Phoenix and killing off 12 Mutalisks. So if we check the army tab, Kiwikaki taking a firm lead here, 4975 to 3400. And Strifecro having to retreat, losing all those Mutalisks, should not allow those Mutalisks to get out in front of these Corruptors, wanted to lead with the more powerful and armored Corruptors, and just have the Mutalisks come in behind and contribute a little bit of damage. Looks like Strifecro now going to be transferring or transitioning to some tier 3 with Broodlords. So he had these Corruptors going to be good against the Phoenix. He needs to get them into the battle here. And again, those Corruptors are going to be ripping apart those Phoenix numbers, and now going to be using all these Corruptors. Looks like he has 24 on the field right now, and will soon have a number of Broodlords, 4. So these Broodlords are going to be very good against the Blink Stalkers of Kiwikaki. Force field's going down, trying to prevent the Zerglings, but they are already in. And now these Corruptors doing great damage against these Phoenix. Kiwikaki needs to pull these out before he loses on all of them. Corruption going out on the Phoenix, so they will be taking 20% more damage for 30 seconds. And Kiwi going to have to retreat, not able to penetrate this gold expansion. So I wonder if instead of going head-on against the units of Strifecro here, he could continue to use those Phoenix just to harass. The Stalker is going to be able to take on the Broodlords a little bit because they are only flanked by these Corruptors, not able to attack ground until they're transformed into Broodlords. So it's a large clump of Stalkers versus a few Broodlords. If they were able to blink in and focus these down, could spell lights out for these heavy units of the Zerg army. Check out the income tab. It's 83 Harvesters to 77, but Kiwikaki does have 3 mining bases as he's done good transfers. And it looks like EG Strifecro getting mined out a little bit and not well saturated at all these positions yet, just now doing a transfer. See more action in the center here as these Stalkers try to focus down Broodlords. There are no Queens out in the center to heal up these Broodlords, so able to be taken down quite quickly, but at what cost? These Stalkers going down to those Broodlings. More Stalkers coming in for Kiwikaki. Now these Broodlords are going to be trying an assault against these Photon Cannons. Strifecro should pull back. He does not want to fight these cannons and the Stalkers at the same time, trying to focus down Corruptors that are not yet transformed into Broodlords, now blinking in and focusing down these Corruptors one at a time, able to go down in about 2 volleys from these Stalkers. Kiwi needs to continue to warp in more Stalkers. He's got very high minerals and gas at this point, so needs to continue to macro up. Looks like all these Stalkers will go down, and he's just going to have these Photon Cannons defending against these Broodlords, not going to do much as they will only attack the Broodlings. Now Kiwi coming in with some Archons, and it looks like he's got a Mothership up as well. So we'll see what he's able to do with this Mothership. It will go down very quickly to these Corruptors. He also has Infestors in the mix as well. So this Infestors with fungal growth is going to be able to stop these Stalkers from blinking around, being so annoying. Looks like we have the Mothership waiting for Archons. He's got 5 Archons right now with +2 upgrade, so doing 43 damage against biological units. Coming in with these Cloaked Stalkers and Archons. Strifecro are going to do his best to focus down the Mothership here. We do see a Vortex come out as well. The Mothership trying to enter the Vortex to save itself, but it is going to be taken down. And loaded in this Vortex are a lot of units from Strifecro, as well as all these Archons and Stalkers from Kiwikaki. So when they pop out, all these units are going to take massive splash damage just like that from those Archons. So a number of Broodlords going down, but not all those Broodlords were caught in the Vortex. So Kiwi doing a little bit of trickery there, loading up that Vortex with the Archons, able to get a lot of splash damage from those 5 Archons, doing almost 200 instantaneous damage to those Broodlords. And the ones that were in there did go down, but just not able to capture as many Broodlords. If we check out the army tab, the Zerg player macroing up quickly, now trying to take the center base, 3,700 compared to the 2,300 of Root Kiwikaki. But Kiwikaki was able to push back that pressure from Strifecro, so if he's able to keep getting bases here and perhaps catch up to the Zerg player, he could stay in this game. If we look, 3,500 compared to the 2,700, so now actually in a bit of a lead, going to try to press this advantage, take down one of the mining hatcheries of Strifecro. Should perhaps focus down the spine crawler first, only 300 health, it would go down quickly. And now these corruptors are moving in, just surveying the situation. Hydras and Zerglings trying to do their best to clean up these stalkers. Again, Strifecro heavily invested in these corruptors, still has almost 15 corruptors on the field. Now these Broodlords, very slow units, not going to be able to keep up with these Blink Stalkers, but they will be able to defend and push back these units. Looks like Kiwikaki trying to get up this expansion once again, now doing long distance mining with all of these probes, 78 harvesters to 77, more Phoenix in the back for Kiwikaki, perhaps forgotten. Now Strifecro going to be pushing into the center here, wanting to take this other gold expansion. If he can get this up and running, there will be nothing Kiwikaki can do to stop this macro Zerg machine. Looks like these drones trying to get in on the action, pushing against those stalkers. And Kiwi trying to do the most damage he can with those Blink Stalkers, pull back so he doesn't lose too many units. If we look at the army tab, 6,300 compared to the 4,000. He is getting up storms with these High Templar, so could start shredding a number of the Hydra, and looks like a drone army as well with those High Templar, but the storm's not going to be too great against the Broodlords. Trying to get storms on these Hydralisks so they will go down very quickly. Storms as well on these Corruptors. Again, the Corruptors not going to be able to attack much from Kiwikaki. Kiwi needs to get in here, blink, and take down these Broodlords. Looks like they are going to go down in, again, about 2 volleys. So just 5 Broodlords right now. They are being focused down very quickly by Kiwikaki, but these Hydras doing a ton of damage. This Archon not focus firing down very well. Needs to finish off these last few low HP Hydras. Checking out the resources, both players spending very well here. Kiwikaki just consistently staying on the Stalkers. They are powerful against these armored Broodlords, doing bonus damage and able to take them down quickly, but these Hydralisks adding DPS to Strifecro's army, able to shred through these gateway units. Kiwi really needs to balance the number of High Templar and Stalkers at this point. He needs those High Templar to really lessen the number of Hydralisks. Just a storm or two could really destroy them, as well as the Zerglings. Strifecro doing a good job creating Zerglings and Hydras, the perfect counter to these Stalkers. And Kiwi just losing ground here. It looks like the Broodlords coming in, morphing in more and more off those Corruptors. Now going to be pressing into the third of Kiwi. Kiwi still has a few mining bases, trying to do a lot of mining here, but now one Broodlord coming over, going to try to shut down mining. And Kiwi not looking good, needs to continue to focus down these Broodlords before more of them pop. Blinking in and out, trying to pick them off one at a time. Focusing down these little Broodlings is not going to be what gets them back into this game. And more storms from Kiwi are also needed to take down these Hydralisks, as they're just shredding these Stalkers. See Kiwi 2-2 upgrades, the Hydralisks just 1-0 at this point, the Broodlords also 1-0, but again that armor going to be so important for those large HP armored units. See Infestors coming in and sort of finishing off the Stalkers of Kiwikaki with those fungal growths, going to prevent any sort of blink play. Now a number of High Templar perhaps trying to save up energy in the back, and Kiwikaki just sort of reads the writing on the wall and is going to give a GG here. So his economy was shut down, all the Zerg, killing the number of probes on this right-hand base and taking out the Nexus here. And Kiwikaki was just had no answer for those Broodlords. The early play with the Phoenix, very effective, but the many Corruptors of Strifecro and then transitioning them into Broodlords, Kiwi's just not able to handle that. The Blink Stalkers were good, they were able to one-shot the Broodlords, or basically two-shot Broodlords, and Strifecro was not morphing them as quickly as one would like, but Kiwi is just not able to compete with the macro game of the Zerg. At the end we had 84 Harvesters for Strifecro compared to the 42 of Kiwikaki. So in this game we saw a ton of stuff. Kiwi moving out early on with that early aggression with the Zealot and the 2 Stalkers, and Strifecro doing a good job defending against it, not too much damage done. Strifecro countering, and Kiwi throwing up a money force field, saving his main and his natural and all of those probes from the Zerglings in the early going. Kiwi transitioning into those Phoenix, doing a lot of good harass, and then EG Strifecro just making a good decision there, getting up Corruptors, getting off the Mutalisks quickly, and then picking a good tier 3 choice as well, which just makes sense using those Broodlords, and taking down Kiwikaki's entrenched position with these Photon Cannons. So very interesting macro game, a great mothership move by Kiwi as well. Not getting too much use out of that mothership, but always fun to see when you load a bunch of units into that vortex, and you can do it with Archons and anything that does a lot of splash damage as soon as it does come out. And those Archons, all 5 of them, able to hit simultaneously on those units as they were clumped up and doing over 200 damage to everything that got pulled into that vortex. Unfortunately, it was not enough for Kiwikaki, and one of the top Protoss players goes down to EG Strifecro in this PvZ matchup. So hopefully you guys were able to glean a few things from this game, or at least had fun watching all the great play from these two players. If you're looking for more SC2 action, check out my channel Matron Starcraft at youtube.com. Thanks for watching this one. Take care.